Coming up on Cronkite News, state leaders are finding new, innovative ways to provide affordable housing.
Plus, how the Victims of Crime organization is helping hundreds of people each month.
And later, the Cardinals have added a new face to their coaching staff. We get a formal introduction.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Lydia Curry.
And I'm Jonah Krell. Thank you for joining us.
Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy is making his first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border since being confirmed.
Cronkite News reporter Alexia Stanbridge brings us the latest on the tour.
I'm here at the border where House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is visiting. He's accompanied by other Republican members of Congress, including Juan Ciscomani from Arizona. We're in between Douglas and Nogales port of entries right now, where Custom and Border Patrol was scheduled to brief and give them a tour of the area. And just about an hour east of here, Democratic Representative Raul Grijalva is also touring the border. Part of his trip includes discussing the rollout of the bipartisan infrastructure law that Grijalva helped pass last year. This trip was planned prior to McCarthy's visit. This all comes as the CBP announced that encounters along the southern border for January were down nearly 40% from December, making this the lowest month of Border Patrol encounters since February 2021. At the border, Alexia Stanbridge, Cronkite News.
McCarthy aims to implement more measures to, quote, secure the border as other officials, like Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs, work with migrants who have already crossed into the U.S.
The Biden administration commented on the visit with some dismay. Spokesperson Ian Sams said in part that the president, quote, took action to implement new border enforcement and immigration measures last month, and that House Republicans, quote, would be wise to strengthen the immigration system by approving border security funding alongside the president.
Tragedy can strike at any moment, and for non-U.S. citizens, there have even been more obstacles when it comes to getting help. Valeria Rodriguez tells us about a nonprofit that makes it their mission to help non-citizens through the process.
A tragedy turned into an organization that helps hundreds of victims of crime each month.
Habían matado dos jovencitos.
They had killed two teenagers, and one of them was my son. My voice still breaks because no, you can't forget them. A son lasts a lifetime.
Jose Guzman started the organization Victims of Crime after his son was tragically murdered and learned he could apply for U visa, which is mainly given to those that have been affected by a crime made by an American citizen.
Yo no conocía nada de los derechos de las víctimas.
I didn't know anything about the rights of crime victims, and they told me we have therapy for you, compensation. We also have transportation to court for you. We also have a U visa.
Guzman started the organization in 2008 and is now helping 600 to 800 people each month. Juana Garcia Lozano is one of the victims that Guzman has helped receive a U visa. She shares the need to take things into your own hands.
You've already been through a bad situation, and if you have that opportunity, seek help, because I also went to therapy, because it is not easy. Don't get scared. Look for help because there is a lot.
Guzman and his team are helping victims file the paperwork needed, significantly reducing the cost of the process and teaching them their rights as victims.
Damos esa aplicación donde el condado inicia.
We give them that application where the county starts with $25,000 per person. To start, let's say for gasoline, for therapy, transportation to court, it covers the cemetery costs, loss of work, as well as if you miss 10 to 15 days if you can prove that you lost those days.
The downside of the U visa is the wait time of 3 to 5 years. Lozano expresses the relief she felt of receiving a U visa after going through a tough situation.
One would not want to go through those situations, but after that bad experience right now, my children and I are safe in this country.
In Phoenix, Valeria Rodriguez, Cronkite News.
Jose Guzman also helps people outside of Maricopa County and travels to other parts of the country to help victims of crime, like traveling to El Paso, Texas after the Walmart shooting in August of 2019.
Guzman has been awarded multiple awards for this impact on the community.
Arizona ranks among the bottom 5 for states for affordable housing, according to the National Low Income Housing Coalition's latest study.
Cronkite News reporter Tabitha Bland explains how state leaders are finding innovative ways to provide affordable housing options to residents.
From dome houses to tiny homes, housing has taken a non-traditional turn to focus on saving the environment and your wallet. Home does not need to be made of wood. For some, it could come in the form of steel.
And I'm hopeful that this concept can inspire the action we need to bring home to more Arizonans.
The Arizona Department of Housing granted $1.2 million to transform the containers into homes. Recently, government officials demonstrated this concept in downtown Phoenix.
You see solar energy above, R26 insulation, there's gray water, very advanced plumbing.
The bathrooms in these units appear to be pretty traditional, with a shower and a sink, but the catch is the toilet. This is an incinerator toilet, meaning it uses 0 water. Now, you open the lid and the waste inside is burned rather than flushed down by water. Then, when you're finished, after a few uses, you can actually pop the bottom out and pull out a tray of ash. Now, it's low bacteria ash, so you can just throw it in your garden, and it's completely sustainable. This saves money on utilities, but similar units cost $1,700 a month. That expectation is based on a salary that is double Arizona's median income. Deborah Peterson understands the struggle of many Arizona renters.
The last apartment I was in, they wanted to raise my rent by $600, and I couldn't do that.
Peterson moved to Arizona in 1980. Since, average rent has increased drastically.
They just need more affordable housing. I don't care who does it or what it takes or who's involved, they need to do something about it.
The $1.2 million grant only funded the construction of 5 shipping container homes. The average container costs between $10,000 to $35,000 to transform. In the newsroom, Tabitha Bland, Cronkite News.
Coming up after the break.
Lydia, you're going to love this. We have a special report from our Los Angeles bureau. Our reporters in LA spoke with a young influencer who is taking the skating and social media world by storm.
Plus, LA's loneliest bachelor, P22, was more than just a mountain lion for an indigenous community, but a member of their extended family.
When you support Arizona PBS, you plant a seed. Seeds that provide educational outreach in our community. Seeds that put our digital resources to work. Seeds that foster the trusted news coverage you expect from PBS. And seeds that continue the amazing PBS programs you love. But our garden can't keep growing without your support. Visit our website to see all the ways you can help our garden grow. Plant a seed with Arizona PBS today.
My heart is racing right now.
Fasten your seatbelt.
You're uncovering the truth.
These are consequential things.
Yeah.
Oh, look at everybody.
I feel the presence of all these people.
I've got history.
No. I wish my mom could be here to see this.
Amazing.
It's like the most vital stuff, right?
Tuesdays on Arizona PBS.
Welcome back. I'm Daniel Ogos, and this is your Cronkite LA report.
Coco Atzma is a competitive skateboarder here in Los Angeles. Atzma has worked to develop skills that are difficult for even the best of the best to perfect. But there's something about this skateboarder's journey that makes it even more incredible. Atzma is blind. Cronkite News reporter Cameron Dean has more on Atzma's inspiring story.
Skating is a sport that takes great balance, body control, and guts beyond any other. Skaters often scale half pipes, long bars, and various other obstacles. Imagine having to do it with limited or no vision at all. Skater from Los Angeles, Coco Atzma, does it every single day. How do you feel about being a blind skater, and what motivates you?
Being a blind skater is a weird spot to be in because there's so few of us that when you go to your local skate park, you are the only one. I don't even see myself as blind. I see myself as a skater. There we go. When I feel like I might have trouble learning a new park, all I have to do is send it. When I skate, I use this. It's called a cane. If I go this way, for example, and I believe the parking block is in this direction, and yes, it is, so I'll go around it. And then there should be a box coming up, and I can show you exactly how that guy works. So, yep, right here. So we've got the box right here. So, since I can now tell exactly where it's at and how tall it is, not very tall at all, I could do something like, that was so sketchy, but I'm counting it.
And you've competed in various competitions.
I've competed in Grind for Life Tampa Adaptive Division. I've competed in the Josh Comer Memorial Skate Jam at Fontana Skate Park. That was more of a street league or Olympic style contest. I want you to blindfold yourself just to show you, because even standing on a skateboard when you can see is hard. Give that a shot. Just keep it out in front of you. Keep the stick out in front of you.
In Los Angeles with videographer Chimela Peter, I'm Cameron Dean, Cronkite News.
You may have heard about P22, the mountain lion who was known as LA's loneliest bachelor. But for an indigenous community in Southern California, P22 was a member of the tribe's extended family. California wildlife officials euthanized the beloved cat last year because of his declining health. Now, tribal members from the Gabrielino Tongva tribe are calling for a proper burial to honor the well-known lion. A large celebration of life was held at the amphitheater near Griffith Park this week, where P22 used to roam. The event drew thousands and included special celebrity guests like DJ Diplo. A major goal of the event was to bring attention to the tribe's request to honor the lion and for P22 to be returned to nature instead of mounted and displayed somewhere in the city. According to the LA Times, museum officials say they intend to allow for a proper burial. Regardless of what happens, P22 has left a legacy in Los Angeles that will surely live on. That's all for your Cronkite LA report. From Los Angeles, I'm Daniel Logas.
Thank you, Daniel. What a bunch of incredible stories. The temperature's gotten a little chilly down here in the valley.
Lydia, the Super Bowl week teased us a little bit. It was warm weathers. Now it's a little bit cold now. So Spencer Chiak is in the Cronkite News Weather Center to tell us, are those sunshines coming back?
Jonah, Lydia, hope you guys are keeping warm today. It's going to be staying cool this evening. Currently 57 degrees out. We'll be dropping below 50 by 10 o'clock tonight. And if you're a fan of clear skies, you're going to want to look outside ASAP. Clouds will be taking over the state tomorrow for most of the day. Looking on ahead, because of that, the lows in Phoenix tomorrow morning, 50 degrees. A similar tune down in Tucson and up in Flagstaff, 14 degrees. That sounds like you're going to want every scarf you have in your closet. Going on into the highs in Phoenix tomorrow, though, over a 10-degree difference between today's high and tomorrow. Tucson once again playing that same tune, and up in Flagstaff, perfectly freezing outside. Looking on ahead, I think the weather knows it's a 3-day weekend. Saturday, a perfect 75 and sunny. And on Sunday, after you get that sunburn, some clouds for relief. And looking on into the rest of the week, Monday, things will be cooling off once again with the chance of rain Tuesday through Thursday. Clouds will be sticking around on Friday, but warming up. And for your Cronkite Weather Report, I'm Spencer Chihawk.
I'm Jack Pearson. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. ASU men's basketball is running out of time to make a run. What they need to do to make it to the big dance.
Now streaming on the PBS app, the definitive collection of documentaries from award-winning filmmaker Ken Burns.
Hemingway, the man, is much more interesting than the myth.
It is a story that Americans have to reckon with.
He's got my job. I'm the town.
Discover over 40 groundbreaking films that bring our history to life. Stream the Ken Burns collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
General Manager of Arizona PBS. We've got so much going on here at the station.
I'm Catherine Anaya.
I'm Alberto Rios.
I'm Chef Mark Tarbell.
I'm Ted Simons.
We want everyone to know that their Arizona connection starts right here at Arizona PBS.
For over the past 60 years, Arizona PBS has told incredible stories of Arizona's distinctive people.
We got to start being more vulnerable with each other.
What I love most about being a Latina woman is the passion and drive that I feel.
Beautiful landscapes and treasured history.
We're doing something that benefits the community.
Good evening and welcome to Horizonte.
Welcome to Check Please, Arizona.
Welcome to the U.S. Senate debate.
The recipient of the Emmy is
Arizona PBS.
The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication's Phoenix Sports Bureau provides students with hands-on learning experiences and opportunities in sports journalism. From covering local high schools, colleges, and the pros, students get the opportunity to go live from our Facebook shows covering local, collegiate, and pro sports in the Valley. From digital reporting, broadcast, social media, and producing, there's opportunities for all. For more, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Jack Pearson. The Cardinals introduced their new head coach today. Jonathan Gannon is fresh off a Super Bowl run with the Philadelphia Eagles as their defensive coordinator. Now he takes over a franchise that desperately needs to turn things around. Cronkite Sports reporter Olivia Eisenhower gives us a closer look at the Cards' new coach.
New Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon was introduced to the media for the first time Thursday morning, and one common word came out of the former Philadelphia defensive coordinator's mouth. That was adapt.
Not too many times do you take over a team and you have a franchise quarterback, so that was very appealing, and I'll head some of this stuff off right now as we talk before we get to questions and things like that, but just know this. We're going to be very adaptable. I'm talking the Arizona Cardinals. This is what our team's going to be. We're going to be adaptable, we're going to be violent, we're going to be explosive, and we're going to be smart.
Gannon, who was here practicing in this same facility just last week with the Eagles preparing for Super Bowl 57, was joined by his family front row along with several current players, including quarterback Kyler Murray, following the deal that will keep the new head coach in the Valley for 5 years at least.
Game in 2023 is not going to look like it was this year, and that's because coaches are smart. So I famously said a line back in when I first took over as a defensive coordinator of Philly that I don't have a scheme, and people were very uncomfortable with that, and I was not, because I don't believe in a scheme. I believe in putting the players that we have in positions to be successful.
He plans to stick with his franchise quarterback Kyler Murray as well as the rest of the team as he begins his coaching search to fill the rest of his staff and win games this season. In Tempe, Olivia Eisenhower, Cronkite Sports.
Widely considered to be the best trade in the NBA this year, Kevin Durant gave his first press conference today since becoming a Sun last week. Fans were lined up outside Footprint Center for the event. It's hard to think of another introductory press conference of this magnitude that's taking place at the arena on game day. Durant says he hopes to make his debut soon and credits Devin Booker as a big reason he agreed to sign with the Suns.
It's just, he has a pure game. He can score from every area of the floor with efficiency. He's athletic, but he don't really show it a lot, but he can. Like last game, he had 2 dunks, and it surprised me out of nowhere. Even though I know he has that in his tool bag, but he's just such a quiet, efficient scorer, and he goes about his business on and off the court in just a mature manner. And I just wanted to be a part of it.
With spring training officially underway, Major League Baseball held a Cactus League Media Day yesterday, a chance for all the managers to talk about the start of the season. For the first time in 3 years, teams can begin spring training without any COVID-19 restrictions or a lockout. This year will be the first time since 2019 that teams will get a full-length spring training, and you can bet managers are excited to have their time required to get the players ready for the regular season.
I believe in preparation. I believe in getting things done the right way. I believe in allowing guys to go out with focus and effort during spring training to get themselves ready for a championship type of season, and that's what we're doing right now.
I think for all of us in uniform, we're just excited to get back and see guys catching the baseball, taking batting practice, and getting ready for another season.
ASU men's basketball has a pivotal slate this week in their final home set of the season. Taking on Colorado tonight and Utah Saturday, the Sun Devils are still hovering over the NCAA tournament bubble. And as Cronkite sports reporter Jonah Krell shows us, every game is crucial.
Time is ticking on the Sun Devils' chances of earning a spot in the big dance. ASU is coming off a road sweep of Stanford and Cal, but still is among the next 4 out in Joe Lunardi's latest ESPN bracketology. With just 5 games left, including 3 on the road against teams higher than them in the Pac-12 conference standings, there's no better time to start getting hot for Bobby Hurley's squad.
It depends how you look at things in life. You know, we've won 3 out of 4 now. And we played a good game versus Oregon. We just didn't make enough plays, and our defense wasn't good enough at the end. But so we've been good the last 2 weeks. We got to keep finding another gear.
In the midst of fighting for their NCAA tournament lives in this final stretch, the Sun Devils will also have to focus on taking care of business at home, where they've gone 1-3 in their past 4 games here at Desert Financial Arena, and not to mention, Senior Day is this Saturday.
So many, subplots to this, but ultimately the most important thing is, we have a really good record. We, have some key games in front of us to close out the regular season and just try and win as many games as possible.
The first game of this final stretch starts with a rematch against Colorado from earlier this season, when ASU's Desmond Cambridge Jr. hit a game-winning shot to cap off a wild 15-point comeback win.
He put it down with 2.6 to go!
And just like that game, the rest of ASU's season will count on how wisely they use the precious time they have left. In Tempe, Jonah Krell, Cronkite Sports.
That's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. We'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Jack. Coming up, wildlife experts are making a call to action when it comes to climate change.
But except this time, the conversation isn't about changing temperatures. After the break, how climate change could affect traveling wildlife and how future infrastructure can help.
We tell ourselves stories as a nation.
These stories need to be highlighted, they need to be explored.
We're the dreamers.
How serious is America's commitment to looking at its history? How can we learn from the past?
Douglas said, "You're going to look me in the eye and see my humanity."
It's illuminating. I'm seeing the expansiveness of my history.
It's pretty great.
There's so much richness to Black life and Black culture.
I think the story of Muslims in America is the story of America.
Tonight, they are free.
I cannot imagine how excited he must have been.
It's a wonderful feeling. This is why we do this.
It makes me even more committed to struggling for a better world.
Welcome. How utterly charming. Are you ready to get it going? How does an English fan come to be Italian Riviera?
A fresh start.
Can I trust you? Are you ready for the show? Don't be afraid to show them what you've got, what you want.
Are we having a party?
Of course, the more the merrier.
I love this place. It's my home now. Trouble in paradise. I can't do it on my own.
This is revenge.
There are consequences.
Be careful.
Nothing like this. Nothing like this. Oh.
You look like you need rescuing.
Don't we all?
What is it that you want?
I just want to let go.
I choose how I live.
There is the passion that I've been looking for.
Wildlife experts are asking the government to think about climate change when creating structures to help animal migration and movement. Wildlife crossings are the most common solution for wildlife migration. These structures save lives and cut down on the costs of car accidents. But climate change is impacting how far animals are roaming, so officials want to add more structures to areas that are particularly dangerous to animals. The goal is to create structures that can serve wildlife for years to come and keep habitats connected, even as the ecosystems change.
These crossings will save the lives of both animals and humans as they make their respective commutes over or on highways. That's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.